Now, there's a big corporate battle brewing in India, and it stems from Zee's refusal to accept Sony's no to the merger of the two entities. Zee has moved the National Company Law Tribunal, asking that Sony be ordered to implement the merger scheme. Remember, this comes after a letter accessed by CNBC-TV18 from Zee promoter Subhash Chandra to Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman a week before Sony pulled the plug on the proposed merger. The letter raised concerns over the timing of SEBI's latest notice to the company's former directors. Nisha standing by now with the latest in this matter. Nisha, many thanks. Lots of developments as far as the Zee-Sony saga go. What we now know is that Zee intends to take legal recourse, which is what it had said it would do, and it's now decided to move the NCLT.
That's right. It has called upon NCLT to implement the merger, for which NCLT had given an approval earlier. And it has first written to Sony, actually, to withdraw the termination of this particular merger process, which, remember, was a unilateral termination by Sony, despite several repeated attempts by Zee to get an extension for the merger process to be completed. It has also asked Sony to take measures to implement this particular merger. So clearly, Zee has evoked its legal rights in this particular matter, and it is ready to really fight back with Sony for the merger on which Zee has spent 2 long years. Apart from this particular process, remember that Sony had also asked for a termination charge of $90 million and said that there were some breaches on terms of agreement by Zee. That has been contested, and Zee, on an offensive mode, an action-packed day actually, Shireen, because it has already initiated a legal action to contest the two entities, Culver Max as well as BEPL of Sony, against that to claim at Singapore International Arbitration Center. So Zee, clearly a change of strategy is being seen there, from being a defensive player requesting for extensions to now coming on an offensive, and putting this in conjunction with the efforts made by the promoter Subhash Chandra, who had written and asked for finance minister's intervention to this to really protect the interests of the Zee stakeholders, and also lashing out at SEBI and the timing and urgency of the investigation at the same time as the merger process is going on. So lots really developing. What will be awaited is Sony's response to this, and whether or not there will be a legal battle ensuing on this particular merger process.
I would imagine that we will see a legal battle. Nisha, many thanks. But speaking of Sony, Sony Pictures Networks India has clearly started moving on. In a letter to employees with CNBC-TV18 has accessed, the MD and CEO NP Singh says, and I quote, "We will actively explore new organic and inorganic possibilities to strengthen our market presence. Our immediate focus will be back on unleashing our full potential, continuing to craft content that not only engages our audience, but also boosts subscriber growth and revenue," end of quote. Well, the other big corporate